girls, Becky Evans here. I'm joining Motofest for this new playlist, and I didn't come alone. Red Bull sets up at the summit of Maui on a playground dedicated to every possible racing discipline. We love it. In this playlist, you get to become a pro at every discipline and find out which discipline is the best. Can a motocross bike beat a rally car? Can an AGP beat an aeroplane? It's up to you to take on the craziest challenges and answer the questions that everyone's asking. And I won't be the only one hosting this playlist. Motorsport stars will join us and give you all of their tips and stories. It's shaping up nicely. Let's go. Let's begin the Red Bull experience.
Der Kampf der Disziplinen beginnt jetzt. Entdecke das ganze Erlebnis mit Sounds of Red Bull, der neuen Tracklist im Musikplayer. Auf zum nächsten Ziel. Wir starten diese Red Bull Playlist mit einem Rallycross-Rennen. Mal sehen, wie sich der Ford Puma Hybrid gegen andere Rallye-Monster wie den Audi Quattro, den Citroën C3 oder den Focus RS schlägt. Aber vorher hören wir rein bei Motorfest, the Podcast.
Welcome to Motofest, the podcast. Here, I get real with Red Bull athletes to tell us about the intensity of motorsports and the love they feel for it. And let's talk about Rallycross, which is the theme of the first playlist event. For the occasion, I asked two of the most exciting Rallycross names about their ideal car. Here are the Hanson brothers. Guys, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, Timmy, if you were to describe your ultimate dream machine, what would it be?
Something like, what they have in Pikes Peak, a lot of power, a lot of suspension travel, being able to jump really far.
Kevin, over to you.
Like really long suspension travel, so you can jump like crazy. Red Bull livery, red.
Yep, okay, makes sense. The car you're about to drive meets a lot of Kevin and Timmy's criteria. I hope you guys will love it. Oh, and to listen to the full podcast, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Just go to the Sounds of Red Bull tracklist of your music player. Enjoy the race. Welcome to the Red Bull Playground, boys and girls. Becky Evans here, improvising as the voice of the playlist. Ray Waller, the official voice of the festival, is bedridden. But don't worry, he'll be back soon. I'll be commentating on what you see. And don't blink, because things are going to happen fast. Are entering a tunnel for the first time. Now they have to adapt their driving to the tarmac. It's a cross-terrain race, just like this playlist, mixing all the disciplines of racing. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always wanted to say that. podcast, Timmy Hansen explained how essential it is to gather enough speed, keep the nose up, and land flat for a successful jump. Woohoo! Looks like this one. Listen to the podcast. The 2016 World Champion has started in first position, but the big surprise, undoubtedly the Ford Puma Hybrid Rally 1, the brand's first electrified rally car. Last round, boys and girls.
Aufeinandertreffen der Disziplinen steht an. 2 Disziplinen, 2 Wege. Wähle deine Disziplin und zeige, dass du die schnellste Zeit fahren kannst. Du bist dran.
Boys and girls, I'm super excited because we get to see the first clash of motorsports. We're staying in the dirt and you know the first opponent because we already saw it in action, the Puma. But for the second, you'll have to listen to my last interview.
Hi, I'm Robbie Madison. I'm freestyle motocross rider. I've done a lot of cool stunts.
As a champion athlete and stunt performer, what does flirting with the limit mean for you?
To me, flirting with the limit is like being in the moment. When you're able to flirt with the limit, you're operating at the full maximum potential that you're able to operate. That's the pinnacle, right? That's peak performance.
And you guys, are you ready to flirt with the limits? Team Hansen or Team Madison? Which side are you on? The Ford Puma. Now you know better than anyone what this machine is capable of. You're witnessing a real speed clash. The first one to the finish is the winner. Right now, the bike and the car are on the same course, but to keep things fair, they'll diverge onto separate routes, designed to let each vehicle work to its full potential. The course is about to split. Straight ahead for the car, right for the motorcycle. Advantage of airtime. She's much better at jumping. But the Puma can deal with asphalt and is more reliable on straights. Both have their strong points. Which one will exploit theirs best? No matter the vehicle, dirt requires reflexes, but above all, instinct. Making the right choices quickly is the key to surviving the race.
Gelände ist durch. Weiter geht's mit Asphaltfahrzeugen. Wir beginnen leise Weise, und ich verwende bewusst Anführungszeichen, mit einer kleinen Aufwärmfahrt auf einem Rennmotorrad.
Podcast studio. Listen to this, folks. What you're hearing is the sound of the KTM RC16 2022 version, and that's my guess for today. 4 cylinders, 1,000 cubic centimeters, 250 horsepower for just 346 pounds. Take a look at this dynamic marvel. Get ready to drive in the time attack. Don't forget, when you're driving along the coast of Maui or the streets of Honolulu, you can listen to all the podcast episodes on the Sounds of Red Bull track list. Now, time to unleash the moto racing power.
Boys and girls, this event can seem simple, but it's crucial for our driver. A time attack to test whether the driver can handle the next clash of disciplines. Landmark, and no lie, it's definitely not safe. The RC16 is a little marvel. We had to wait until 2017 to see the RB KTM factory join the competition. The brand has won everything in other competitions, so it was time to see them take on moto racing. driver can either play it safe and keep this vehicle, or roll the dice with something unknown. It's an agonizing decision.
Ein Duell der Disziplinen ist in Sicht. Wenn ein Rennmotorrad auf ein Rennauto trifft, ist das ein echter Kampf um den Asphalt.
For the next one, we'll put two disciplines in a head-to-head race and see which one crosses the line first. Racing car or racing bike? Which one is the best? Will it be the beautiful Ferrari 488 in its circuit version, or the KTM RC16 that we all know has great skills? I'm leaning towards the bike. It's lighter and its top speed flirts with 224 miles per hour. It's the logical choice, but aren't we here to defy the laws of logic? Racing car addicts, it's up to you to prove otherwise. Ferrari meets Red Bull.
No individual courses today. It's a pure face-off on a circuit designed for both vehicles. So I don't want to hear any sore losers complaining. May the best win.
Pass gut auf!
On track this evening, the KTM RC16 takes on the Ferrari 488 GT3. 600 horsepower for 2,777 pounds for the Italian machine, while the Austrian Stallion boasts only 270 horsepower, but for 346 pounds, not insignificant. The car and the bike can both turn well at speed, but it's the exit of the turn and the entry into the next one that will be decisive. Of the course isn't a track. It's been specially resurfaced to provide a little extra speed. Look at the volcano smoke. So cool. Regardless of who wins, this clash has a lot to live up to. Racing cars has just put an end to the discussion.
Erfahre alles über die Welt des Rennsports auf Sounds of Red Bull, dem offiziellen Kanal des Motorsports.
Hey boys and girls, I hope you can keep up because we're about to go hard with the elite of motorsports, the AGP. Cars that can easily go up to 220 miles per hour. And because we always want more in this playlist, we add boost gauges. It's going to be strategic. And as always, I did my homework and talked all things racing with a pro driver. You might know him, Yuki Tsunoda.
Could you break down what you feel your driving style is for us watching you on the screen?
My dad used to teach me a lot about braking. Definitely, I like to adapt braking. Recently, last two Grand Prix was a bit too much sometimes, and yeah, unfortunately, a couple of times went to the wall. You know, it feels great when you feel the G-force, you know, with the maximum longitudinal G-force when you have nailed the great braking.
And beside braking hard, be focused at the start. It's decisive for the rest of the race.
Drivers are focused. The start is imminent. Let's go! A full AGP race. Using boosts in the right place at the right time will be decisive. From now on. RB13, 14, 18 and 20. 7 years of evolution from Renault to Honda engines. Between them, these four account for more than 70 podiums. getting better and better.
Den RB20 entdeckt. Du kannst ihn für das Folgende behalten. Aber du kannst dich auch für ein Fahrzeug entscheiden, das etwas weniger bodenständig ist. Du hast die Wahl.
Podcast, guys. As you've seen, the playground is a motorsport paradise, but there's still a place that we haven't experienced so far. The sky. I was lucky enough to feature Luke Chapella, Red Bull Air Race pilot, famous for being the first to land the plane on the very tiny helipad 600 feet in the air.
I'd love to know more about the bullseye stunt. There's an attempt, and then the plane like bounces and you keep going, and I had a heart attack and was like, oh my God.
I almost got a heart attack on the first one as well. It took me like 650 practice landings before I went for the actual landing on the helipad. So for an athlete to come out from what I thought was a failure, but that was quite challenging.
So cool. The video is online. You have to check it out. The next race is the most experimental of the playlist. AGP versus stunt plane. Place your bets. Extra. That's not just my reaction, but also the name of your flying machine.
Unsurprisingly, the AGP has the advantage on startup, but once the plane is airborne, it's a different story. If you're a Red Bull addict, you'll probably know that this isn't the first time an AGP and a plane have been put on the same grid. Last time, it was in a straight line in a drag race. Here the plane will have to make very tight turns if it wants to keep up with the AGP, which is much more accustomed to doing so. That's really exciting. I'm sure you're familiar with the RB20 on the track today, certainly more so than its aerial rival. Stressed for 10G and capable of reaching 975 meters per minute, its size makes it the perfect aerobatic aircraft. Let's hope our pilot will give us a taste. We enter the second lap. Succession of turns is tricky. hope they haven't forgotten the turn waiting at the end. Another race like this anytime soon.
Ein Kampf zum Abschluss dieser Red Bull Playlist, der es in sich hat. 2 Disziplinen sind nicht genug. Also bieten die Motofest und Red Bull die Wahl zwischen 3. Was ist die beste? Becky hat unsere Red Bull Athleten dazu befragt.
In your honest opinion, between rally, AGP and motor racing, which is the most intense discipline? The one that brings the craziest sensations?
I think it's motor racing, actually.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I think F1, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'd go for Formula One.
Rallycross, moto racing, or AGP? Here comes the ultimate challenge of the playlist, but also the end of the podcast. But I'm never far away. I'm always on the air. You find all the podcasts on the Sounds of Red Bull tracklist. And then, I don't know why, but I feel like we'll see each other again soon. It's off to the apex of the playlist. AGP, champion of all motorsports? Yeah, it makes sense.
Who will cross the line first in this head-to-head race? Answer in, about a few minutes. The rally car has already changed its course to reach the dirt. Route designed to match its strengths. The AGP stands out for its speed and braking quality, and of course it sticks to asphalt and is unbeatable in corners. So to make things fair, it will be racing the longest route. The bike's route, on the other hand, is shorter but ultra technical, forcing the rider to swing through the curves without losing speed. ultimate racetrack, the Speed War. The AGP1, ladies and gentlemen, the Queen of Motorsport, the one and only.
Vergiss nicht, dir deine Fahrzeugbelohnung zu holen. Geschwindigkeitskampf vorbei. Der erste Meilenstein in einer vielversprechenden Beziehung zwischen Red Bull und Motofest. Und das ist erst der Anfang. Du hast in dieser Playlist zahlreiche Rennfahrzeuge entdeckt, allesamt Juwelen des Motorsports. Aber wir mussten uns für eines als Prämie entscheiden. Wie wär's mit einem Ferrari mit Red Bull-Logo in deiner Garage? Der Ferrari F488 GT3 AF Corse ist genau das Richtige für dich. Sollen wir mal eine neue Play... Neue Herausforderung bereit. Ein neues Playlist-Erlebnis erwartet dich.